This video made possible by World of Warships. Right now, you can use the code READYFORBATTLE2020 to win a sea bag full of freebies. Check out the link in the description.
During World War II, while actual horse cavalry may have been coming to an end, the tactics and strategies perfected by nearly a century of United States cavalrymen are utilized by many other units outside the cavalry proper. World War II sees the United States military benefiting from the cavalry's examples, honed by decades of victory through intelligence, firepower, and sterling leadership. One such leader and true battlefield innovator will come to define a generation of soldiers, serving as a high watermark to which other generals would be compared. The cavalry has him to thank for advances not only in their traditional saber, but for the advocacy and development of tank warfare.
World of Warships is a hyper-realistic PC and free-to-play game where you can command your choice of more than 300 of history's most iconic warships, like the USS Enterprise or the USS Missouri, as they appeared during World War II. These vessels are insanely detailed and realistic, with the option of upgrades and customization. Join the over 30 million World of Warships players worldwide in an exciting balance of strategy and real-time virtual combat. Download the game using the link in the description and use the promo code READYFORBATTLE2020 to receive 700 free doubloons, 1 million credits, a 7-day premium account, the USS Charleston with stars and stripes camouflage, and the premium Japanese ship Ishizuchi. Hours of strategy, tactical gameplay, and pulse-pounding combat awaits all who take the helm in World of Warships.
George Smith Patton wastes no time preparing for war. When World War II erupts in Europe in 1939, he seeks to build and maintain an armored fighting force.
When I want my men to remember something important, to really make it stick, I give it to them double dirty. It may not sound nice to some bunch of little old ladies at an afternoon tea party, but it helps my soldiers to remember. You can't run an army without profanity, and it has to be eloquent profanity. An army without profanity couldn't fight its way out of a piss-soaked paper bag. As for the types of comments I make, sometimes I just, by God, get carried away with my own eloquence.
During the war, General Patton became almost as famous for his brash personality as for his relentless pursuit of the right people, tactics, weapons, and technology that would win the war for the Allies. Patton led Army, cavalry, and armored units throughout the war and in a number of different locales, such as Algerian French Morocco, North Africa, Tunisia, Sicily, Lorraine, Ardennes, the Rhineland, and the Central Europe campaign. Patton poured himself into his duties even before the United States officially entered the war. In December of 1940, now Major General Patton led maneuvers by the U.S. 1st Armored Corps in a massive operation that sees 1,000 tanks and vehicles mobilizing from Columbus, Georgia, to Panama City, Florida, and back again. While on this assignment, Patton even earns his pilot's license in order to better observe the armored troops' movements from the air. Ruthlessly efficient, Patton also leads the 1st Armored in June 1941 during the Tennessee maneuvers, where 48 hours' worth of planned objectives are accomplished in an astounding 9 hours. ever a proponent for striking fast and hard on the battlefield. In 1944, Patton responds to one war correspondent's question about whether or not to slow down the Third Army's rapid offensive in order to spare U.S. lives.
Whenever you slow anything down, you waste human lives.
While Patton's predilection for rapid offensive movements earns him the nickname Old Blood and Guts, he is still widely admired by those under his command. Among his men, he is affectionately called the Old Man, unquestionably the man in charge. Commanding the Western Task Force in Casablanca, Morocco in 1942, Patton's 33,000 men meet resistance from Vichy French soldiers, but soon successfully land and conquer the city on November 11, 1942, 2 days after their arrival. Casablanca is soon repurposed as a military port under the oversight of Major General Patton. The Sultan of Morocco holds Patton in high esteem, awarding him the Order of Wissam Aloit, the citation reading, "The lions in their dens tremble at his approach." The Sultan's opinion is proven correct later in the war. In 1944, the rumors about Patton are legion. It is said that no one holds Old Blood and Guts in higher regard than the German High Command. The Allies exploit this very well in an intelligence operation known as Operation Fortitude. German spies are fed a host of misinformation, including that Patton had been named commander of the 1st United States Army Group, and that the unit was preparing to invade Pas-de-Calais in northern France. Germany's 15th Army stationed itself at Pas-de-Calais, while the Allies' real operation went into effect, the invasion of Normandy on June 6, 1944. In reality, Patton did not fly into France until a month later, as Patton was on assignment commanding and training the Third Army in England, a unit that had newly arrived. General Eisenhower gives this command to Patton after a series of incidents that call into question Patton's leadership. In August of 1943, 2 different privates, Charles H. Kuhl and Paul G. Bennett, were slapped and verbally abused by Patton after the men had been found to suffer from battle fatigue. Patton is incensed by the men, mistaking their fatigue for cowardice. He issues orders for his commanders to similarly discipline any soldier making such complaints. While the slapping incidents prompted a private disciplinary action from Eisenhower, who ordered Patton to apologize to the men he had accosted, they only solidified Patton as a general who wanted to win the war at any cost. Still, Eisenhower and other top military brass knew Patton was an invaluable asset to the American Army, and the successful espionage of Operation Fortitude proves that Patton could theoretically win battles on his reputation alone. In a speech to the Third Army on June 5, 1944, the day before the invasion at Normandy, Patton espoused his strong belief in the American soldier as a winner above all, but did acknowledge that even the greatest generals experience fear. Fear would be plentiful, after all, on D-Day.
All real Americans love the sting and clash of battle. You are here today for 3 reasons. First, because you are here to defend your homes and your loved ones. Second, you are here for your own self-respect, because you would not want to be anywhere else. Third, you are here because you are real men, and all real men like to fight. Americans love a winner. Americans will not tolerate a loser. Americans despise cowards. Americans play to win all of the time. I wouldn't give a hoot in hell for a man who lost and laughed. That's why Americans have never lost, nor will ever lose a war, for the very idea of losing is hateful to an American.
While not without his personal flaws, Patton is remembered best as a ruthless general and a colorful and talented orator, capable of drawing out the best in all those he led. His influence on cavalry tactics, armored warfare, and military leadership is still in practice today, and shortly after his death in 1945, the United States Army adopts many of Patton's strategies for use in their training exercises. In his earliest days as a cavalryman, Patton's expert swordsmanship leads to the crafting of the Patton saber, which comes to be the standard issue sword for the United States Cavalry in the early 20th century, shortly before the First World War. It is fitting, then, that after World War II, the United States would name its newest designed tank after the storied general. The M46 Patton medium tank, mounted with a 90mm M3A1 gun and boasting 4-inch thick armor, would become the Army's standard issue tank, used primarily in Korea and maintained as a powerful defense tool throughout the Cold War. While Patton's innovations in the field of weaponry, armored vehicles, and tanks propel the United States Armed Forces forward as a leading contender on any battlefield, much of his insight can be attributed to the traditions and tactics that he learned in the United States Cavalry.
Thanks for watching. If you'd like to help us produce more compelling historical content like this, please like, comment below, and share this video with fellow history buffs. And of course, be sure to subscribe to help keep history happening.